exhibition matches after the varsity duel.
Matthews Ford in Broken Arrow has been collaborating with Broken Arrow Public Schools since 2016. Through this partnership, Matthews Ford sponsors the Broken Arrow Teacher of the Year Award by providing a courtesy car for the winner to drive throughout the year. We'd like to recognize Matthews Ford for their efforts in supporting educators and being a valuable community partner with Broken Arrow Public Schools. This support sets a great example of how local businesses can work together with our school system to create a better future for all.
At Ascension St. John, you'll find advanced heart care, brain and spine care, and personalized cancer care. And we excel just as much in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
If you and your family have been waiting for the perfect time to jump into your dream home, it's here. We make buying a new home as easy as it is exciting with quick credit approvals and great rates. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Life happens in a hurry. Our money experts will help you keep up. T2CU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. We're also proud to be team orthopedist for FC Tulsa. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
And welcome inside the Tiger Field House. Tonight we have some wrestling on tap with Union coming to town to take on Broken Arrow. Union 1-1, Broken Arrow 1-0. I am Dan Hawk. Alongside me is Broken Arrow great
Chris Forbes.
Chris Forbes, part of the program for a long time with your son, and
yeah.
Obviously you know this program like the back of your hand with head coach Rodney Jones. Kind of just give me a synopsis on how this shapes up for the Tigers tonight here inside the field house.
Well, you know, both teams are coming off of a really competitive tournament. Union went to the Mid-American tournament in Enid, and then Broken Arrow came off of arguably one of the toughest tournaments in high school in the nation.
In Ohio.
Yeah,
with
the
Ironman,
Ironman
yes.
in Ohio. So it's good to see him come out and get a good match in. Union's significantly better than they've been in the past. They gave Stillwater, which is a returning state and dual champion team, a run for their money. So it'll be a good duel. I mean, it'll be a good matchup. You know, Dan, I'm looking forward to a lot of these matchups and seeing where they stand.
When we break it down as far as weight class, which one really stands out to you that could be something really special this evening?
Well, there's a few. It's going to be interesting if we see a Darius Black, Evan Rodriguez matchup. That'll be good. They've got a returning Fargo All-American from this summer, Yanosa at 190. It'll be interesting to see him against Braden Jones. Stitchkin will be a good one against Jarvis. So, you know, I'm excited to see these matchups, see where they go.
You know, for me, Caden Troop, you know, we're talking about an individual that made it to state last year, but he's battled through an injury, and now he's getting plenty more mat time now. I know he has high expectations for this final year wrestling for Broken Arrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of expectations, but, you know, he works hard, and, you know, he's a competitor. So, you know, it shows. He had the knee injury and still went to state, qualified for state. I think it was a match away from placing. But But yeah, he's definitely a factor and a leader on this team.
You know, it's hard to believe that we're looking at a facility here that is very pristine, very nice, but in the coming months, we're no longer going to be wrestling in here. We're going to be wrestling at the Palace next door. Thoughts on that? And I know you would have loved to seen your son, and we'll talk about your son in a little bit, former Broken Arrow great, but just with this opportunity of this new facility.
It's amazing, and I think it's I think talking to Rod, I think it's one of the largest wrestling facilities in the country. And I know they're going to have some gymnastics and stuff, but it's basically a wrestling-based facility. So unbelievable. I think you can fit, I think at one time, you can fit half mats, but I think they were saying 8 full mats at one time.
Which is unheard of.
Which is crazy. We've got 2 right here, and we've seen packed. So the new facility is going to have 8. It's going to have locker rooms. It's going to have its own little area. So it's unbelievable. So, yeah, you're right, and I'm looking forward to it.
You know, I went to school at Boise State, and I remember, you know, being a Bronco, they did gymnastics, called it the Battle of the –
Oh, yeah,
you know, the Beast and whatnot.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
I was drawing a blank there. But, you know, you could potentially have something to that magnitude once that new facility opens up.
And those sports go kind of hand in hand. I know my son's at OU. OU used to do it, and I missed it because it was really a really good event. And hopefully they were talking about bringing it back, so I hope they do.
If they do, you and I might have to make a
there
trip
you
down
go,
to
I'm
Norman.
down.
Well, your son, before we dive into tonight, tell us how your son is doing down in Norman for OU. I know he's coming back through an injury as well, as you told me.
Yeah, he's doing really good. Right before Michigan State, he got put on a concussion protocol, took a knee to the head in practice, but has recovered from that. Went 3-2 a couple weekends ago up there in Kansas, and wrestling this weekend. So it's always good. And there's several other Broken Arrow guys out there wrestling that are doing really good. We've got some guys up there. I think we got one at Missouri Valley. We've got several at Ottawa. So a lot of the guys out there in college. We've got one at Grandview. So it's always good keeping up with the guys from Broken Arrow, and they always are they're making their mark, and they're doing really good. We got someone that won in Bedlam too, Reese Whitcraft. So a lot of guys out there wrestling and kicking butt.
That's the best part
representing the Tigers.
Exactly right. And that's the best part about all of this is, you know, I've seen different states where wrestling is not thriving. In Oklahoma, this sport is thriving like none other, Chris.
And especially in 6A, which is the category, the largest class here, which is Broken Arrow and Union are part of. It compares to anywhere nationally, so very tough, tough competition.
Very, very tough competition, but it's going to be a fun night tonight inside the field house, especially when these two teams, because this goes back to Pee Wee days for both of these guys.
They're familiar.
They're very familiar with them. I think it's going to be very technical tonight as well. And Chris, I just appreciate you being on hand with us. And,
thank you, Dan.
It's going to be a lot of fun this evening with head coach Jones and his squad as they get set to take on Union. Let's take a quick timeout on ArrowVision. You're watching Broken Arrow Tiger Wrestling. Chris Forbes alongside myself, Dan Hawk. Stay with us.
Matthews Ford in Broken Arrow has been collaborating with Broken Arrow Public Schools since 2016. Through this partnership, Matthews Ford sponsors the Broken Arrow Teacher of the Year Award by providing a courtesy car for the winner to drive throughout the year. We'd like to recognize Matthews Ford for their efforts in supporting educators and being a valuable community partner with Broken Arrow Public Schools. This support sets a great example of how local businesses can work together with our school system to create a better future for all.
At Ascension St. John, you'll find advanced heart care, brain and spine care, and personalized cancer care. And we excel just as much in the things that can't be measured, listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
And welcome back inside the Tiger Field House. Union and Broken Arrow get set to square off on the mat this evening as the smoke is slowly coming out. I got to ask you, is there anything better than coming out through the smoke as a wrestler?
No, it gets you pumped up. You're ready for competition. Have you running through a wall.
It really would have you running through a wall.
Got the little guys, JV, junior high guys coming out on that side.
they are definitely amped up and ready to go as well.
I'm glad that they get to wrestle side by side, so they get to see the high school guys. And
To
see
me,
where they
that's
want to
the
be in a
best
couple
part
years.
about it, Chris,
Yeah.
is because these guys are going to be, one day they're going to be your future Tigers.
no doubt.
So might as well get them started now to see what it's like to be able to wrestle.
And give them the whole experience, you know.
I mean, that's half the battle, is just getting the guys accustomed to learning the sport and wanting to be a part of it as well.
It'll be interesting to see what Broken Arrow does, too, with their lineup, because they've weighed in multiple guys at multiple weights.
That's right. Let's take a quick pause real quick as we will have the national anthem right here on ArrowVision.
Those men and women who protect our freedoms both home and abroad with the singing of our national anthem. Performed this evening by Zoe Latondras, a senior here at Broken Arrow High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I want to give a big shout out to our national anthem singer. That was a pretty phenomenal job.
She did. She knocked it out of the park,
Yeah,
for
she-
sure.
She was very impressive.
And I'll tell you this, I love it about the wrestling crowd. Very patriotic. So
Very
it's good.
patriotic,
Yeah.
yes. And that's something that I don't think will ever change. And the other thing that I love about the sport of high school wrestling is you're very accustomed to is the fact that there's so much respect factor
Oh, yeah.
for one another.
No doubt. You go out and kick each other's butts and then shake
And then
hands
shake
afterwards.
hands afterwards, yeah.
So they're introducing the, looks like the junior high kids first. And we talked about it, Dan, earlier. Is what's great about it is these guys get to be side by side to the high schoolers and see where they want to be in a couple years.
At their age, when can you, because you've been around the sport for so long, when can you recognize, okay, this kid's got something? Is it already at this junior high age, or does it develop once they get to the high school?
You know, kids develop, different stages. You'll see a kid that's a youth guy, and he has that it factor. Or you see a guy that's in the youth side that just can't fight his way out of a paper sack, but then once he gets into maturity and gets that, testosterone and everything else, you start seeing, okay, then he starts getting some of those traits. But usually around 7th, 8th grade, you can determine, where their direction's going.
At this young age, I know, like, as they develop their skill set when they get older, the big takeaway is I either want to be on top or I want to be on bottom or I can do vertical, whatever I'm good at. At this level, is it kind of just still learning what they're wanting to grasp?
Even the high school level, it's always just learning. It's like putting yourself in positions and learning to be good at each position, top, bottom, neutral. You always just want to keep evolving, and no matter if you're junior high or high school, you're still learning.
And I meant to say neutral. I didn't mean to say vertical.
Oh, no, yeah. Hey.
Force a habit on that one.
You're good. Technically, you're correct.
Yeah, I know, but it is neutral. I knew that once I said it. And I can already tell, especially with some of these junior high kids with the camera being here, like some of them, you can already tell they have that size.
Some of them develop and some of them
have
still
not
wait.
yet, but,
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from their heart as to what they want to do.
No, and like you said, you can kind of tell, you've been around athletics enough that you can tell when someone's kind of got that attitude, that winning attitude. And winning doesn't mean going out there and winning. It just means that you're going to do everything you can on the mat, outside the mat, to do what you have to do.
The varsity now getting called out. And this one, and for a lot of these guys, especially these home matches, because there's not that many home matches and they know it, they're in the zone this point right now.
Doubt.
Once they shake the hand, it's go time.
And like you said earlier, it's a crosstown rivalry, so you definitely want the bragging rights.
And I don't think that's ever going to go away. I think a Union Broken Arrow wrestling duel is always going to be something special, whether it's here or it's at their place. There's a lot on the line for both schools.
No doubt. And like I said, Coach Jefferson's done a really good job. Danny Jefferson's done a really good job. He comes from, his dad, Hall of Famer at Muskogee. I think, they've had a good year so far. Their only loss, they're 1-1, but their only loss was could win either way, and that was the returning state champ, so Stillwater.
Which has been in it, it seems like, year in and year out,
yeah,
especially with John Smith's son being a part of that program.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's been a legacy program. It seems like it just continues to get bigger, and I think a lot of that help comes, there's a college right down the road that's pretty successful.
It goes in cycles, and usually the cycles are up when John has a kid there.
Yeah.
So it goes in cycles, and they're still very good. I think they finished in the top 10 at the Ironman, so they've got some real good individuals. Broken Arrow actually beat Stillwater in their duel in Stillwater, so it was a good match for Broken Arrow. They've lost to Stillwater the last couple of years, and they got to get some revenge. So
I want to go back to that Ironman. The boys left bright and early. I believe Coach Jones told me that week it was like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. to head out there. This is one of the most premier tournaments. If you're a college recruiter, this is the spot for it. What is it like competing in that tournament in Ohio for the Broken Arrow?
It's tough. I mean, that's one reason my son wanted to come. He wanted to be a Tiger, but he wanted to come here to be part of that tournament. And it's tough. I mean, every match, there's schools that don't bring their whole lineup. They'll bring like 2 or 3 guys.
And those 2-3 guys could make up the team.
Yeah, well, Broken Arrow brings their whole lineup.
Right.
Like Stillwater only brought like 4 or 5 guys because they know the other guys aren't going to stand a chance.
Right.
It's tough. And the good thing about Coach Jones is he does put these guys into tough environments. So, I know they had kind of a rough tournament there, but you're talking national level guys that are, the elite of the elite.
And you have obviously known Coach Jones for a long time.
Yes.
I mean, his time goes back to Oklahoma, and
yeah.
He wrestled in the NCAAs. I mean, he's a very special, hands-on coach, old school. I've been to his practices before.
Yeah.
A lot of respect factor. If you ever get the chance, if you're listening out there, if you're a wrestling fan, I bet you Coach Jones would let you go to a practice, but you would learn something right away for sure.
Yeah, you definitely would. I'll tell you that. And my son was part of Coach Jones's first state championship team. Not Sean. Sean's had several, but this is Rodney's. I think it was 2020, I believe.
I believe that is correct.
2020. So
yes,
my son was part of his first state championship team. So
runner-up in 2018, but
yep.
state champ in 2020.
Yep. So he's part of that team. They won dual state and state that year. So it was a great year.
Now I know the varsity team is just getting ready to go, but the JV squad over here. When can you start to see development of a JV player where it's like, hey, let's bring him up. It's time.
Well, usually, they'll have to get in the 9th grade, but usually, that actually, honestly, back in the day, they didn't really let freshmen wrestle in high school. They had a guy before me. They had 2 before me. They had Chad Wise and Chris Sagely.
Okay.
And they let those guys come up, but I had to go through a petition, do all kinds of stuff because I was wrestling coming in the high school room because I was, kind of outgrowing a lot of the guys in junior high, so I went up and started wrestling the high school guys, and I got moved up, but it wasn't easy. So now it's like freshmen can wrestle, and a lot of them do now in high school. But
how many freshmen, in your eyes, when they make it to that varsity level, can actually compete as freshmen?
Well, you know what?
There's a handful in there.
A lot of them now because there's so much. There's some more more advanced than what we were back then. They've got access to YouTube and all this internet stuff that we didn't have. And they also have stuff called regional training centers where they have access to college coaches, as well as the young coaches coming in are really good in Oklahoma, like Coach Jones, Coach Jefferson. And, you know, these kids can compete at a young age because they've been coached well. You know, a lot of them in other states, which is why they do so good, is because they have club teams. So club teams are really make a big impact. There's not a lot. It's not real popular in Oklahoma because, like I said, our coaches are really, really good. But, you know,
and the schedule represents that as well.
Yeah, other states are really big on the club teams.
I got to ask the $1 million question. When did you stop wrestling your son?
You know, I still, if we get on the mat, I hadn't done it in a while, but I've got the weight advantage, so I use it. I use it. He still hasn't taken me down, but he tells me I'm too fat, so that's why.
My dad would still kick my butt, probably.
I haven't wrestled him since he's been at OU, so.
Well, why don't we take a quick time out here as the varsity's getting set to go to the mat, and then we'll get started here on ArrowVision. Chris Forbes alongside me. We got you covered with Broken Arrow Tiger Wrestling in the Fieldhouse.
Matthews Ford in Broken Arrow has been collaborating with Broken Arrow Public Schools since 2016. Through this partnership, Matthews Ford sponsors the Broken Arrow Teacher of the Year Award by providing a courtesy car for the winner to drive throughout the year. We'd like to recognize Matthews Ford for their efforts in supporting educators and being a valuable community partner with Broken Arrow Public Schools. This support sets a great example of how local businesses can work together with our school system to create a better future for all.
At Ascension St. John, you'll find advanced heart care, brain and spine care, and personalized cancer care. And we excel just as much in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
And welcome back inside the Tiger Fieldhouse.
Looks like we're starting
ahead.
action at 106. So Broken Arrow waited in multiple guys, but looks like they're going to send out Rudy Rojas and Zebediah Tibbles. Looks like they're going to go at it.
And that, you know, I can't break that down for the viewer that's just getting in as far as weighing in to decide who's going to wrestle who here.
Well, you know, like I said, Broken Arrow kind of waited in multiple guys, and that's so they can shift guys, you know, move one guy down, bump a guy up. Matchups, you know, it's about matchups, so they're trying to see where their matchups are. You know, Union's kind of set. They don't have multiple guys, so they know where Union's going to be. Broken Arrow can kind of shift their lineup according to where it's at.
And the Tigers have been set with multiple guys. I saw that at Media Day, that they were able to shift things around.
Rojas looks like he's going for a pin. He got an immediate takedown. Looks like he's getting back count now for a pin. For those of you listening, a takedown's worth 2. A back count, which is near fall. If he gives more than 3 swipes, then he gets 2. If he gets 4 swipes, then he gets 3.
And Rojas here is plenty of strength on him.
Oh yeah,
just containing Tibbles.
He's doing a good job. He's throwing in a leg, doing a good job on top. I don't know if they've thrown up the count. He should have got a back count here, but they don't have it on there yet. Also, how they score the individual matches, just a win, which means it's 7 points or less, is worth 3. A major decision, which is 8 points or 14, is worth 4. A technical fall, which technical fall ends the match, is 15 points or more. That's 5, and then a pin is worth 6. So that's kind of how the scoring goes. Looks like Rojas is controlling. I could have swore he got back count. I can't believe they haven't issued that. He was on his back for a while, but looks like he's going to do a banana split here.
Into a pin.
Now he's getting the back count. There's the fall. Good call, Dan. So 6 points over here for Broken Arrow. Way to start.
And that's what you want to see. You want to jump on an opponent early.
No doubt.
Because that's how you can set the tone of how the night's going to go for the duel.
Get your maximum amount of points.
So we should be going to 113 coming up here. James Snedeker
from Union, and it looks like Bradley Lazzarini from Broken Arrow.
And they're doing the final weigh-in, and now both individuals come out onto the mat as the respect factor always goes to the referee. And I believe this is a pretty old-school referee. He's been around for a while.
Yes,
I've seen him before.
Yes, he's been around for a long time, done a lot of tournaments. Usually you got both referees here that have, the junior high and then doing the high school. They've been around for a long time.
A lot of them are former wrestlers as well.
Oh,
which
yeah.
helps
Yeah,
out.
both these guys are former wrestlers. It looks like a headlock. They're scrambling here.
No points given, though, but it was
Lazzarini's
pretty close.
looking in on that shot. Lazzarini, what he has to do, he's got a Nelson here. He's flipping him over. He's got to start working toward and getting his points. There he goes. He's got 2, which is control, so it's a takedown. High school still 2. In college, they're given 3 now. They've just done a rule change where there's 3. Dan Broken Arrow's coming out aggressive. He's going
aggressive.
for it again. So got a 3 count. 3 points.
Lazzarini not wasting any time early on in this one.
When we talked about it earlier, just on that last match, Broken Arrow's coming out aggressive. They're not only looking for a takedown, but they're looking to get back points and a pin. So I noticed that in their last duel, Broken Arrow, that I watched. They're really aggressive now in all positions, top, bottom, neutral. So they're doing a really good job coaching these guys up.
Now in this situation here, Union is
good escape
going
here.
to get out of there with the escape. But when Lazzarini had him down low, would he have more strength with his arm or the leg at that position right there?
When he was on top?
When he was on top.
You want to control that guy's hips. So when you're on top, you want to put pressure forward, keep weight on that guy's hands, and you've got more power if you use your weight to drive him forward. So, Snedeker's he's battling back. It should be yeah, they gave it to. It should be an escape and a takedown, but Lazzarini's just got the reverse. He's locking up a cradle now.
And he's got that cradle locked in real tight, like his head was a little underneath.
Time ran out.
Far.
Only got to a 2 near fall count, or got to a count for near fall 2.
It might have appeared on that cradle. His head was a little too far in to be able to get that.
Sometimes you want to kind of shift his weight, or if he's, he was over the top of him. Sometimes you're side by side. You call it put a knee in the side. And on these matches, we talked about it earlier, Dan. They're not going to have ankle bands because the home team, which is Broken Arrow, will be green. Red team, which is Union, visitors. So kind of how they do these duels. Sometimes they have the leg band, sometimes they don't. But you can tell by the singlets, just know Union's red and Broken Arrow's green for home team.
Lazzarini looks like he's in a good spot right
here. Yeah, he's
though.
getting too high. Snedeker's getting high, so you're right. He's just got to back off. He's got the half here. He needs to circle back on the mat, which is what he's doing right now. Keep him back on the mat.
Yeah, you don't want him to go out of bounds, but then we got to reset.
You got a good spot here. And what Snedeker has to do is kind of get himself off the mat. But he's got a back count.
2 points, Lazzarini.
Lazzarini in complete control of this match
right now. Yeah, so right now he's got a major. He's up by 8 points. So he's got a major, so that's 4 points right now, but he's looking for the fall or technical fall, so he's looking for more.
Well, with a minute 16, it's still plenty of time, but wanting to close this out in this time frame here.
And they do periods. They do 2-2-2, so 2-minute periods is what they do. He's running that bar arm series. He's going to run it over.
Trying to rotate
him. Once he gets it, this is hard. He's got to take his right leg. There you go. Put it over, and that'll put those shoulders down. But he lost the other arm. He lost the far arm. He's got his back count of 3.
He still has not let go, though.
He's got to take his shoulder. There you go. Work a half Nelson here. Now, if he gets this, they call us the grapevine. He gets this. It's hard to get out of. Now, there's 34 seconds, so plenty of time.
And it's getting close, and
there
he picks it up.
Another
right
fall.
there.
So back-to-back falls for Broken Arrow. They're up 6-0, so they couldn't start any better.
This is stuff
Or
that
actually
is-
12-0, sorry. So 2-6. So the BA's up 12-0. So.
And this is the kind of start that you talk about when you're in practice all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's come out strong.
Yeah. And like you say, you leave no doubt early. So kind of did the snowball effect. And we're going to move to 120. Should be Antoine Hernandez for Broken Arrow.
With Nick Broom from Union, his actual weight is 118.5. Antoine just a little heavier
they're
at 119.6.
Somewhat close. Yeah, these guys are probably guys that could go 13. Good shot by Antoine.
These are the individuals, when you get to this 120 range, very strong, very agile, very quick.
Yes.
A lot of movement as we're seeing right now.
Funny thing is Antoine Hernandez from Broken Arrow, his dad used to wrestle for Union. His dad was wrestled at Union when I was wrestling for Broken Arrow, so I know his dad real well.
How much of his son here do you see him out on the mat?
Quite a bit. I mean, he's got a more length. Antoine was a little bit shorter, stockier. The older Antoine, he was a little bit shorter, stockier, more compact. But you know, I watched some matches of little Antoine this year at the Broken Arrow Open and stuff, and he's starting to come to his own. He's wrestling really good.
Now Broom stretching his legs out far so that Antoine couldn't get anything movement to grab and underhook him.
Yeah, your biggest thing is the hips, like we were saying earlier. You control the hips, control the man. So those guys want their hips back. Antoine wants to get close enough to control those hips. So it's about angles, hips. If he can go over and get that half.
He was trying to grab his back ankle there when he was rotating around.
Yeah. These guys are battling. There's 50 seconds left, and you know.
I know it's early, but this seems like this is the match so far of the night right here.
Yeah, these guys are both going at it.
Very evenly matched individuals here.
Yeah, so far it's a pretty good match. But you know, Antoine's been the aggressor. If he keeps that up, that's a good shot by Broom. But he did a good job. Antoine did a good job of cross-facing, getting him back up. You know, anytime you get in that position, you want to lift the arms up, get them off your hips.
And Antoine also slid to his legs quickly so there couldn't be any movement to flip him into a cradle or anything.
Now he's going the wrong side with that double. There now change off to a single and go. You'll be fine. He needs to either post or come out, take it the other way, and keep coming. Keep coming.
He's trying to rotate him.
Yes, he's got to keep coming with that. He's got to set him pretty hard.
We're down to 5 seconds on the clock.
So little Antoine's having problems when he goes to that double. His head's on the left side, and he's trying to take it opposite side. He's got to take it with the head. He's got to roll his head to the outside if he's doing that double and run him to that right side.
Now, with both of these individuals being very agile, would you want to start in the down position here, Chris?
Yes, 0-0. You want to, and I would be the first one to choose down because I want to get points on the board first. So, you know, get your points, come up. Unless that guy's just some ultimate hammer that you know about on top, you really want to get your points first. And there you go.
And he got out
so
and he escaped, so the points are going to go to him.
And if he keeps the pace up, there he is on a shot again. Now his hips are down.
That was a perfect for him.
The guy sprawled. He was in deep enough where he could control those hips. And when he sprawled, he left that left side of the right side of his body up for him to get behind him. So 3-0 advantage by Hernandez. We've got 1:20 in the second.
And with the Tigers leading Union 12-0 overall.
Yes, a great start.
You know, it's like a 10-second pause right there, but it probably feels like
Gets
3
a little breather.
seconds. You and I, you know, we're good, but for them, it feels like probably 3 seconds.
Got that headgear that comes off so you get a little breather.
Right.
And you know, Antoine's really good on top. You know, he was doing some good stuff when I watched him earlier on this year. Tough on top. So if he can keep with what the previous 2 wrestlers have done at Broken Arrow and work toward back points, this will be huge for him.
He's trying to rotate Broom, looks like on the right shoulder here.
Yeah, he's got that tilt. He can do a cheap tilt here. He let off the wrist. He's looking for a cradle now. He's got to be careful because that arm's out. He can get caught here.
Nearly got caught, but he's able to pull out.
You got to be careful. About 40 seconds here. I like how Broken Arrow's working on top, and they're going for the falls on all these matches here.
How much more difficult is it for Broom once you lose that headgear in a situation like this? Because it's not
really going to do a difference. The biggest thing for Broom is his head's on the mat. All
it's
that.
Uncomfortable.
He's got to get his head up off the mat, and that's why the officials give him the stall call. There's a cheap tilt here. He's got to catch the bottom leg. He can go again. He's got to catch the bottom leg.
Time's going to come a factor here, Chris. We're down to 5 seconds.
Oh, it'd be huge to get these points at the end of the period, but he's not catching the bottom leg, so the guy's rolling through. Usually if you take your outside leg up, catch that bottom leg, you can get a count. So we're going into the third period. I think it's 3-0 advantage.
3-0 advantage for Hernandez.
And they're kind of thinking, because he's been real dominant on top, so
Coach Jones giving him some final words of encouragement as well. So Broom will be down at this point.
Choosing down. Looks like that headgear is still loose. That's going to come off again. I don't know if Broom doesn't mind that. Who knows?
Working quickly here, Hernandez.
And he does a good job. He's controlling that arm. So he's got that wrist and that arm controlling it. He's got to be careful taking him back to the mat. And Broom's in trouble. He's got his hips and his belly on the mat. That's the last place you want to be when you're on bottom.
Is that a stall tactic there?
Well, he's been hit once, so if he doesn't do much from that bottom, he'll get hit again. It's a difficult deal to get up from your belly once you're on your belly.
And in the third period,
there's a second stall, so there's 1 point for Hernandez. So he's at 4-0 right now.
At this point in the match, Chris, your abs, your legs, your arms, everything is just screaming on fire.
Everything. So, and I like how the Broken Arrow guys are they're working tough.
Broom trying to get the escape, but nothing doing.
Broom's got it. He's got to get back to his base. There, he's on his base now, but he's got to get his head off the mat. Head and hands off the mat.
And he lost his headgear yet again.
Yeah, and Antoine's doing a good job. He's the reason why he's putting pressure there. There's another stall. There's one more point, Broken Arrow. So if he can get back counts, if he can get some back counts here, it still should be 5. Okay, he can get a back count. He can get a major here. It can be 8 points.
Is that a mouthpiece that had popped out right there?
Looks like it, don't it? It's not ankle band. They're not wearing ankle band. I think Broom's looking for anything he can do to get this match stopped. Headgear off. I think a mouthpiece.
Well, and in this contest so far with this one here, Hernandez has been in control.
Yes.
Majority of the match.
He's controlled the action on top for sure.
As he throws him down.
Yeah, he's got to be real careful about the mat return, because once you got to be. The rule is if you got an arm trapped, you got to be real careful. But he did a really good job. I know maybe that's what Coach Jefferson's saying over there. Good win for Hernandez.
So that's 3 straight matches that go into the favor of Broken Arrow.
3 straight. Should be 15-0 Broken Arrow. So Broken Arrow's out to a good start. And we'll see who we got coming up. We either have Evan Nolte or Hunter Knox. And let me see who we got here. It looks like, let me see. Looks like Hunter Knox. So Hunter Knox is going to be wrestling for Broken Arrow at 126. He'll be going against Benjamin
McClark.
Yep. McClarick, it looks like.
McClarick, yes,
yep.
McClarick, correction.
Excuse me. Yeah, McClarick.
And they're nearly the exact same coming in with the weight, 125.4 for Knox, 125.7 for McClarick.
And Knox has had he's put on some weight, which is good. You want to. It looks like he's right to the back.
Quickly.
And he's one of Broken Arrow's better guys. I think Knox, I believe, he All-American this summer in Fargo, which is one of the toughest high school tournaments in the country. So Broken Arrow's had a strong tradition of having guys All-American in that tournament.
Well, it's his length that I think plays a major factor.
Yeah,
he was put on the weight. Like
he was a little guy. He was a 6 to 13 pounder, so he's a little guy. So he's finally put on some weight, which is good, and it looks good. So far, Knox is up 4-2 with the takedown and back counts, but Milkarek is actually wrestling him really, really tough. Knox with the reversal.
Picks up 2 more.
Yeah, got a reversal there. So now he's up 6-2.
That was a beautiful reversal, by the way, as well.
Yeah, and he's tough on top.
I think it comes down for him. It's just his length.
Yes.
Like he's like Superman, all stretched out when he's out on the mat.
And he knows kind of his body a lot as far as he started out, I think, doing like jiu-jitsu, stuff like that. His dad's big on that too. He was he was on our club team when he was younger. So Hunter, real familiar with Hunter. He's a great kid. And he's got a lot of experience. He's working that half. Looks like he's going to run him over.
Trying to rotate him over.
And Milkarek's doing a good job of keeping that left outside leg up, but man, Hunter is cranking on him right now.
He's getting close to a back pin.
Yeah, there's another fall right there. So 3 of the 4 matches have been falls for Broken Arrow. So they've came out firing all guns a-blazing.
And overall, Broken Arrow is leading at 21-0.
21-0 for Broken Arrow.
That's a phenomenal start, something that Coach Jones is definitely reeling, but obviously we're still a long ways away.
Let's see if let's see if this is the match that we were talking about earlier. Darius Blacks is state placer for Union, and it looks like it will be. So it'll be Evan Rodriguez and Darius Black. So this will be the match this will be the premier match of the tournament. Evan's been real close to placing at state. He was 1 match away, and Darius didn't place last year, but the year prior he did place at state. He took 4th. So
I had the chance to meet Evan Rodriguez at the beginning of the season, and he said all he cared about this year was winning a state title with himself and the team, and then he really wants to wrestle in college. He goes, I don't care where I go, I just want to compete at the next level.
And he's tough. He's a tough kid. So I think
very quiet kid, too.
Yeah, works hard. I think he won the Garden Edgerton tournament, tough tournament they go to in Kansas early on in the year. Won that. Just a tough kid that works real hard. So this will be a good match.
And both of them trying to test each other out right now.
Oh, yeah. And these guys will go at it, like I said, Darius and them. And I like Rodriguez's shoes. He's wearing the Spartan shoes. I actually represent Spartan and some of their athletes and stuff. So love the shoes.
From what I hear, they're very comfortable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Spartan, they're really comfortable. My son would love to wear those, but they have to wear Nike up at OU.
Gotcha.
But in the freestyle season, they let him wear them, so he gets to wear them. Yeah, this is going to be a methodical match. These guys are trying not to overcommit to anything and get, because on matches like this with two high-level guys, it can be one mistake be the difference in the match. So
I feel like we're not going to see the difference until one goes down and one goes up.
Yeah, you might not see as much action. And both these guys are tough on top. Evan's tough on top, and so is Darius. So we got 25 seconds here in this first period.
At this point, when we're down about 20 seconds or so, do you believe that this is how it's going to finish out, just these 2 guys standing up?
No, I mean, we used to call it tough time. 15 seconds, tough time, and that means get some points on the board. If you can get a takedown or get a score, it's hard for that guy to get back and get a point back. So ending periods with points is huge.
And even though I know some people might look at that and go, they can't be tired, they're still worn out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're jockeying right now for position. Looks like Evan chose down. Darius has got a really good cross wrist tilt, but Evan's really good on bottom as well. So
Evan hoping to maybe get out in an escape here to get some points on the board.
The difference between this and college is you don't get riding time, so he could ride out the whole period and not get any points. So he's got, this is a tough position, but Evan's doing a good job. He did exactly what you had to do to get out of that position.
Picks up some points at the escape. And he also, when he was down, his head never was touching the mat.
No.
It stayed up the entire time.
And what he did was he cleared the legs, because that double flanker position is OSU's great at doing that. That double flanker position is a hard position to get out of, and that was a textbook by Evan, a textbook counter. So they're on their feet. Evan's got the lead 1-0 with 1 minute and 12 seconds in the second period.
You might see some louder cheering. It's because the JV match is going to wire to wire.
It's going crazy. I think Broken Arrow threw the guy from Union, and now the Union guy's throwing the Broken Arrow guy. And it's kind of different for me. They're the Red Hawks now, so they're not.
Right.
They changed their name.
They did, yes.
So it's a kind of a different deal when I see their logo up there, but it's still the U for Union.
I'm getting told that we might change our mic placement for our next duel because the mic is near the JV side, and that's what's picking up.
It's a rowdy match down there, and you
but
can't.
It kind of goes back to what you said at the beginning of all this. As we watch Rodriguez here, these two teams know each other quite well, whether it's JV or varsity. So.
Well, it is exciting to see throws, and you've seen a back-to-back throw. First Broken Arrow, then Union. There's a shot by Rodriguez, a counter by Darius. Another shot.
And they went out just outside the mark right there.
Yes. And it's going to go in the third period. Both guys will pick up their pace a little bit. Darius more than Evan because Evan's got the lead.
At least he's got the 1 point.
Yeah. And Evan's tough on top. Evan could ride him out the whole period and even turn him. And we've already seen it earlier, Dan, with these Broken Arrow guys are really tough on top. I know Coach Jones and the staff have been working really hard on the mat wrestling.
In a given week like this, knowing who he was going to draw, most likely Black, would he have been practicing more on top or the bottom, knowing that it was probably going to go to a third set?
At this point, he just practices what he normally does and does what he's best at. He just knows, who he's wrestling, and he's just going to try to enforce what he does best on Darius, which he's almost close to a reversal. That was a good. If
his mat was at least 5 more inches, I think he would have been fine.
Yeah, this is going to get 1 minute 40 seconds. So we're 20 seconds into this third period. We've already seen some good action. So this is going to be a
Black
good
gonna
ending.
do all he can to get an escape factor here, Chris.
Well, he almost got a reverse, and if you're Evan, you don't want to give up 2. Give up 1, not 2. And he's on his feet. Evan's doing a good job controlling the wrist. Black's coming back, controlling.
Still hanging on to him.
You control these hands, and good job by Evan. Dropping to a leg.
He's trying to sweep it.
And what Darius is going to try to do is get his foot to the mat and get his hips back. So they're going to get a restart here. We got 1 minute 10, so plenty of time.
Looked like he was trying to rotate that leg around, pull him to the mat.
Yeah. I mean, he's been close a couple times here. He's trying to close him off and then get to his feet.
Black gets back up on his feet once again.
And Evan drops to the leg. Now, he's got to try to work something other than grabbing that leg, or they might call him on a stall, but he'll get 2 of those before gives anything up. But he's got 48 seconds left. Evan's riding hard here, controlling a wrist. He's got to keep his feet on the mat.
They're getting close to that. Yep.
Getting a restart here. So 35 seconds. Been a really good match.
Black's going to have to hurry rather quickly.
Yes, he's going to have to get some wrestling positions.
Here they go again.
He's got to be careful of the switch here.
Down to 25.
He's got him his belly down, so got 20 seconds here. He's doing a good job getting pressure on him, keeping his head to the mat. Got 15.
He's just staying on top of it.
Oh, he's got to be careful here. Darius is close to a switch here. Nothing. Wow.
That was close.
That was close.
Right down to the wire.
Came down to the wire, and, so far they're securing that shutout so far. No pressure.
With that one there, why didn't he get the points? What held him back right there?
Well, he didn't lose control. So Evans still had the leg. If he
would have lost the leg,
he would have at least got 1 because there's no control, or getting 2 if he was on top, depending on where he's at.
Now, for our viewers, if it would 1-1, what would have happened from there?
1-1, we go into overtime. So we go into overtime. They'd be 2 minutes to get on their feet, and then they would go toward, I believe, if they change it so much.
It's gone back and forth.
Yeah, that each guy would get a shot to be on bottom for 30 seconds, and then the guy who scored first would get his option to be top or bottom.
Well, with the victory, it goes 3 to Broken Arrow, so now we're up 24-0.
And we got Jake Miller. Jake Miller had been wrestling from he was at Blackwell. His dad, Bobby Miller, was a Blackwell coach. He's came over on the staff this year, so he's helping out on the staff. Jake actually also All-American in Fargo's tough kid, been around for a long time. So, he's wrestling Thomas Tote from Union. So, but Jake's one of their better kids as well.
Tote 137.2, Miller 137.5.
So pretty close in weight. These guys are close in weight, but
it's crazy though that 3/10 sometimes can play a massive difference.
Oh yeah, yeah. Some guys might not even be pulling, and some guys are missing a couple meals to make weight. So
the hardest part about being a wrestler, Chris.
Yes,
one of them.
It is. It is one piece of the puzzle. There's a little scramble there by Miller. He's trying to come through now. He's got to get his head up, which is kind of what he's doing right now, but he's got his head back down. He's got to try to get his head up. It's 2-1 right now, Miller, but Miller's trying to get another takedown because Tote got the escape.
And Tota's trying not to hit Miller in the head, obviously, as well.
Well, he's trying to keep pressure in that head down.
But not kick him in the head.
No, yeah. If you kick him in the head, you'll get an unsportsmanlike, get 1 point. Or if you figure for the head, it's another
deduction.
Potentially dangerous 1 point.
Right.
So they gave the takedown.
Miller.
He's on the ankle holding it, so he's got a takedown. He's got a 4-1 advantage here. We got 8 seconds left in this first period, so Miller's got to hold him down. Tote's got to try to get an escape. He's got to try to get 1 point on the board, but both guys know that Miller's got to hold him down. Tote's got to get at least another point back.
Down to 4 seconds here. Barring anything crazy, we'll go to a second period. Tote's trying to look like he got an escape, but the ref's not going to give it to him.
And he's choosing down, which is a smart call in their choice. He was close to getting away. He got away once and close to getting away again.
We still have 144, 150, 157 ahead of us.
Oh yeah, we're
right
getting
in the
there,
thick
but
of
we're
it.
not quite halfway through. Broken Arrow still got the shutout here, so no pressure on Miller. But so far, Broken Arrow's pitching a shutout against Union. So 4-2, so a takedown. This is the college now. They're rewarding the offensive wrestler, so takedowns are worth 3 now. So he would have been up 6-1 if it was college, or 6-2, and a takedown wouldn't get him the lead, 1 takedown. But now a takedown can tie it. So takedown ties it right now for Tote, or Miller keeps being aggressive and getting takedowns, and he's done that so far. So about a minute 10 left in the second period.
And Miller looks like he's trying to reach in to potentially grab the leg.
Yeah, he's got that underhook position, which, like you said, there's several things you can do with the underhook. You can lift it up, grab the leg. You can pancake him over to his back. I mean, the chance of him shooting on Miller is slim to none because he's got control. That guy's got to clear that tie before he can shoot. So there you go. Like you were saying, he lifted that up and attacked the leg. 42 seconds. Tote's doing a good job of doing they call it the shin whizzer. So he's doing a good job of shin whizzering. But Miller did a great job attacking the far ankle. So we got a 6-2 advantage here with 28 seconds left.
Now,
so 6-3.
Tote with the points there.
Yep, he's got the escape, which was huge. There was 20 seconds left on there and got the escape. So 6-3 here advantage.
Outside the Rodriguez match, this seems to be one of our most evenly matched of the night.
Yeah, and it'll get that way. I think as we go down a little bit further, it looks like they've got some guys that are really tough. So
Miller will go down, the Blackwell native.
And Tote's got a lot of the length advantage on him, so we'll see where it goes here. But Miller's a very savvy wrestler. He's been around for a long time. I believe only a sophomore, but he's had a ton of experience.
Miller close to an escape, and he does.
Controls the hands, gets a point. So he's up 7-3, and at this point,
those points become very crucial.
Yeah, you're up 4, but at this point, you know, you need Miller to kind of turn it up a little bit. You want to try to get some more points on the board. You want to get just more than a win. You want to get a major, etc. And Miller has the capability of doing that.
It comes back from the rich history like you were describing with his dad and the family of wrestling.
Well, and like you said, he's one of those guys, we talked about it earlier, that benefited from going to a regional training site.
Right.
I would see him up there at the OSU regional training site quite often. So
you see college wrestling in his future?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'll go somewhere. He'll have plenty of opportunities.
Miller leading at 7-3 right now as both individuals are neutral.
And we've got 1:15, and Dan, so far it's been a very entertaining duel. I know it's one-sided right now, but you know, Union's out there fighting, so you know, we're not halfway there, so it's not over.
A lot could change when we get to these heavier wrestlers.
The upper weights, yeah, and upper weights are known for falls, so Broken Arrow's got to be on their game, and Union's got to step it up.
Down to under a minute here with Miller and Tote.
Nice swing single. He's got to finish, chase the far ankle. Got to control that. He's got to control up the knee. If he stays on that shin, that guy gets that shin winger. Or he can lift him up like he's doing right now. He's getting that foot off the mat. So now he's got to limp arm it.
Miller rotating on his foot to the other side, I think, played a role for him.
Doing a really good job, and that guy's using the leverage. There's a takedown right there. So it's 9-3.
So barring a miracle here, Miller's going to walk away with a victory.
Yes.
Chris.
And he needs more than one takedown. If he cuts him, he gets a point. So they would benefit. You know, cutting him's not going to do much. I don't know if he's going to get 2 takedowns in 16 seconds. Looking for back, though. He can get back points and get a major.
Down to 1 second.
Looks like a 9-3 win for Jake Miller of Broken Arrow. So
solid win.
Solid win, and
obviously he was hoping for the takedown, but still
solid win. And they keep that. Was it 27-0 now? They keep that. Keep Union off the board. So good match there.
So now we go to 144. Eris Drew for Union, 142.2.
And they weighed in 3 guys here. So I'm trying to see who this one is for. I don't know which one it would be. I don't know if it's Kane Miller. It's not Caden
No,
Sroop.
it's not Caden Sroop. No.
So, and I
believe this is Kane Miller.
I talked to Coach Jones earlier. Didn't want to say it until it came out, but I think Caden's. They've got a couple guys out with injuries, so I think Caden Roops is out. Hudson Beckley's out. There might be one other in this lineup maybe later on that we'll talk about that might be out. So immediate takedown here.
Drew for 2 quick points.
Drew immediately goes in. He's trying to get Union on the board. Union gets a takedown, but Miller does a good job of escaping.
So Tigers down 1 in this match right now.
2-1 right now. So a shot by Miller. There's good finish here. He's immediately going to a pin hold. He's putting him to his back. So now he's got the lead back 3-2.
I think for Union, they know what's up at the scoreboard. That's why he came out of guns a-blazing.
Yes, and that's good for Broken Arrow. He's not wanting to let his team down, so he came back immediately and took the lead back. So, you know, good exchange right here. We've seen a lot of action so far in this match. And with Cadence Roop out, this is a good
learning experience.
Yeah, good learning experience and good shot for Kane Miller to get out there and get some mat time in front of the home crowd. And I don't know. You can't see it with the camera and how it's positioned, but I think Broken Arrow's got these stands full on the home side.
Yeah,
so
it's a pretty good sight for the crowd this evening.
They've done a good job.
Miller just staying right on top of him.
Yeah, you know, I will say, I've said it before, but these Broken Arrow guys are working on top. They're not letting easy points. They're not letting guys up. They are working on top, and I like to see that. Coach Jones giving a little instruction there.
Did they just go off the mat there?
Yes.
The camera angle was.
Yeah, they just went off the mat, and Coach Jones has taken the opportunity to get a little coaching in. I believe this is probably one of their younger wrestlers.
How quickly can that advice just change the course of the night right there for just that moment for the wrestler?
You know, when you're coaching on the sidelines, you don't want to have multiple guys saying multiple things, but someone like Coach Jones can sit here and say, you know, hey, trap the wrist or do something and just make it short and sweet. But something like that can be very beneficial. Maybe he told Miller, hey, you know, get that cross wrist, you know, something, you know, and it pay off.
Miller picks up 2 more, so now he leads at 5-2.
He's going to defer. It's his choice. He's deferring. Drew's going to go on his feet, which Drew did get the first takedown.
That's probably why he went back to his bread and butter there.
Oh, yeah. But it looks like Miller's kind of feeling it a little bit. He's moving around more. He's looks like he's got to keep his feet running right here, and he does. And he's got him on his back right now too. He's getting a count.
Opportunity here for a pin.
He's got to walk that shoulder out and put that shoulder to the mat. He's done a good job. They call that a Turk, so he's controlling that leg, and he's Turking it. He's getting the count here. So
Miller's getting close.
Hey, Miller's got Spartans on too. I like it. Looks like Broken Arrow's sporting some Spartan shoes. I like it.
So 3 more points go to Miller.
So Miller's only 2 points away from a major right now, which is 4 points. He's kind of opening up this match now. Gave up the first points and then just kept wrestling.
Yeah, Drew came out firing.
He did. He did.
And he nearly came up with a pin at one point
yes.
at the beginning, but then Miller just has standed it off.
Weathered the storm, and he's working hard on top now. He's got to drive that half forward. He's got to get his leg back. He's too high right here.
The left or the right leg that you're
That
looking
left
at.
leg, he's got to get it back. And that just comes with mat time and experience. It looks like he's going to get close to maybe a reversal, or he keeps wrestling here, but if he
Drew
got
was trying to fight out of it and escape, but Miller has just been all over Drew.
Yeah, Miller's done a good job. Although he's technically some things he's got to work on, you can see that the tenacity and the heart's there. So he's in the right room because Broken Arrow get him coached up for sure. And they do a good job. Look, here it is again. They're working on a pinning combination. He's got 5 seconds left, so I don't see him getting to his back and getting a count by then, but he's working. And Broken Arrow gets choice, too, this round.
Drew is struggling, like you said in the previous match. I believe it goes back to Broom that his head was staying on the mat. He needs to pull it up.
Yes. You got to get to your base. You can't do anything when your belly and your head are on the mat. I guess this time Miller chose neutral. Good takedown here, right to his back. Looking for the fall here, and he gets it.
How about that?
Wow. Man, Broken Arrow has came to wrestle. So another 6 points for Broken Arrow. So we got 33-0.
That takedown there, is it just a sight of knowing where you're at in the match in that third period?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it the veteran in him, or what
Well,
is it,
and
Chris?
actually, you know what? Actually, I talked to Coach about him early on in the year. I just now recognize him coming out. It looks like Caden Roop's bumped up. So Caden Roop will be wrestling here at 150, sorry. So they bumped Roop up, and they wrestled Miller. Now, Miller, I talked to Coach Jones early on in the year. He's a young kid that's just coming out for Broken Arrow. So he's got a high ceiling. You know, for him just starting, he's got a really high skill set. And takedown immediately for Roop. So Roop is wrestling here at 150. So they bumped Roop up to 150.
And Roop's veteran experience is starting to give Davidson some fits.
Yeah, and you know, that's kind of why they weigh multiple guys at this point. Rod sees, okay, now I can bump Roop up. I can kind of maneuver my lineup where I need to be.
Davidson with an escape there, so it'll be 2-1.
Roop's doing a good job attacking that leg. Looking to finish here.
He's working on that leg.
Now he needs to get a back count here. He's got to split those legs, keep those legs there. He is. Keep those legs split. Go underneath. He's going underneath the arm.
And Davidson hit the mat. He
tried to
fell
roll
off.
under,
He did.
and
He
Roop
did.
caught him. Yeah.
Roop going in.
He's got to cross under that arm is what he's got to do. come under that arm and go to that far shoulder, or he can go there.
He's close. Oh.
He's got 37 seconds. He needs to get some back points here. He's up 4-1. At this point, he needs to, I was about to say, he needs to let go of the leg and come out here and secure that. Now he needs to tee it out.
Davidson.
He's got a
fighting for his
two. He's
life.
got 2 points yet. He needs to try to get more than that. He's got. Now it should be a 5 count. So he's got his 3. Now he's going to try to put him away. Another fall. Roop bumps up. They get another fall.
Roop was working on that back leg and then rotated it off, like you said.
Yeah.
And went to the upper half, and that was the difference maker there.
So they're up 39-0 here, and we're on the 157. So getting toward the upper weights now. Broken Arrow's doing a good job. So we've got the 157 here. Ryan Williams for Union. And then it looks like we're going to have Dallon Franklin for
Franklin for Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow, yep. So
now
Franklin,
Williams has just about a
Franklin
pound of
and
a
Williams.
difference.
Yep.
With Franklin at 154.
So we've got Franklin and Williams here. Williams Union, Franklin Broken Arrow
at 157.
Looks like Franklin's got the double unders. He's trying to control him, lift him up, maybe throw him to his back. You know, Dan, Broken Arrow's wrestling really good. I mean, this is not a bad Union team they're wrestling here. So
no, I mean, and I know the score is not reflecting it, but overall, it seems like most of the matches tonight have been pretty evenly matched with one another.
Yeah, until like I said, Broken Arrow gets on top and they show control. And looking at the shape of Broken Arrow, they're coming each match. They're wrestling all 3 periods. So. Good job by Coach Jones and the staff. The team looks real good.
But this is a much improved Union team from years past that you have seen.
Oh yeah. They gave Stillwater all they wanted. Now Broken Arrow beat Stillwater.
Right.
Good shot here by Franklin. Controls the hips, gets the takedown. Williams up immediately on his feet, trying to get a point back.
Franklin trying to get him back in the middle of the mat because he doesn't want to reset.
Yes, trying to get hand control, getting it back out there. So 39 seconds here in the first period. Franklin's got BA's got a 2-0 advantage over Williams of Union.
And here they go again with 39.
And these guys, you know, Broken Arrow coming back from the Ironman, they've seen the top of the top competition, so they get to come back and kind of use some of that. And some of these guys had some, you know, you never lose, you learn. So some of these guys learned from some of their losses and able to come back and apply that towards some of this competition here in Oklahoma.
I think that's in a lot of ways, Chris, as to why Broken Arrow's wrestling program has been up at the upper echelon of 6A here in Oklahoma because of that Ironman.
Yeah, and anymore, like I said, we've got 2 to 3 teams, and Broken Arrow's in the national rankings now after the win with Stillwater. But we've got 2 to 3 teams that are in the top 20 in the nation. We've got one team that's like 3rd in the nation. So, you know, it's stiff competition in 6A for Oklahoma.
As Franklin begins the second period here, leading it 2-0.
Yeah, he did a good job. He got a takedown with like 40 seconds and rode him out the entire period. Broken Arrow's doing a good job of wrestling all 3 positions. He's got his hips in. He's got to get his hips away. They called a stall call. Franklin gets escape, gets 1 point. So he's up 3-0.
That stall call was pretty quick, though.
It was, and I think you know, he's been good on his calls. It looks like the guy on top has to make an effort to return him to the mat. I don't know what Franklin was doing there. He just pulled him onto him. He's got to fight off his back here. He looks like he's going to be fine. He's going to get that shoulder through, but boy, that's going to be a teaching moment for Coach Jones on this one.
Yeah, they're going to pull old Franklin aside and discuss that one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't pull somebody on top of you, and he's getting lucky to get away there.
3 points.
He's going to pick up 2 points on the escape there.
So he's going to be 5-5, so now it's tied now. So it'll be 5-5 once they give him his reversal. So we got 5-5 match with 1 minute and 1 second left in the second period. Franklin's on top.
So we go more than halfway through, and then we finally get a close-knit match with one another.
Yeah, it goes one way, Dan. It'll go one way or the other. It's either a pin or it's going to be a close competitive match. There's no in between. He's getting a count here. So he's got a 2 count. And he's going to keep counting because if he's got a 2 count, he's going to give him a chance to get the 5 if he doesn't, unless he breaks the hold.
Franklin was trying to rotate that leg over to get him in the pin position, but
going for a cradle again. Like I said, I love the work that Broken Arrow's doing on top and bottom. They're doing a really good job of looking for points and looking for pins. He's got the double flanker, that position that Evan was in earlier. And what Williams has to do is clear one leg, clear the other, and get back to his base.
And keep that head and belly off the mat.
No doubt. So we're going into third. Williams will get choice. He's going to choose down.
Very crucial decision here for Williams.
Yeah, I mean, you could even look at him maybe deciding to go neutral, but he chose to go down. I think it's a good thing for Franklin. Franklin's been dominant on top.
Franklin trying to rotate him around again.
And there's been a stall call on Williams, so one more and it's a point for Franklin. And so far, he's got to get his hips off the mat. Looks like the ref's looking at him to give him a call.
Franklin leading at 7-5.
Working the half there. He's trying to go each side. He's going to try to throw that leg in.
And Williams knows that time is of the essence.
Now he's got a
here.
power half. If he can punch that half through. He's got to stretch him out. Now he's got to get one leg, isolate one leg, and get the Turk, kind of like he's doing right now, and just stretch him out. Put that arm underneath the chin and stretch him out. He's got to walk toward us. So Franklin's got to kind of walk toward the camera. At least his hand, not necessarily walk, but move his hand. Yeah, yes. that kind of opens up the shoulders.
And he's trying.
Now he's going to switch to something else.
Down to 44.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, if I was Williams, I might have even looked at going neutral because he's been controlled on top. Franklin's done a really good job of controlling him, and Broken Arrow in general has done a good job of control on top, looking for pinning combinations.
At this point in the match, Chris, Williams is just hoping to get an escape.
Yeah. He needs a reverse if it starts getting here. A reverse will tie it as much as it. Now there's a second stall call, so should be 1 point. That was the second one. He called one early on in the period.
Yes, he did, and it was period 2.
Yeah, so should be a point for Franklin, but they haven't issued it.
Down to 3. Franklin is going to win this. 7-5. And that's going to move Broken Arrow up to 39.
Yep, so we've got a 3-point victory here. Good job for Franklin. So we've got
that is
42-0, Broken Arrow with the lead. Still got the shutout, and we'll see who they're sending out.
4 3-point victories tonight for the Tigers.
I'm not sure who Broken Arrow's sending out right now. It could be Blake Valletta or Darren Hankins. So we'll see. I think it looks like Hankins, I believe, but we'll see once they announce it. And they're going to go against Uriah Delonia. So Delonia of Union, and I believe it's Hankins. I went to school with his dad, Damon. Damon's a great guy, so I believe that's who it is. I just can't see with the wrap on if that's him or
Did
Valletta.
his dad wrestle at your weight class back in the day?
His dad wrestled a little bit and then didn't wrestle in high school, but he was a talented athlete. His dad was a great athlete. Yep, it is Hankins. So Hankins will be against Delonia.
He just lost his mat. He tossed it, but referee's going to say, put it back on. Let's
yeah,
get this
you've got to.
again.
Now, international competition and all that, you don't have to have headgear. Freestyle season, all that, but once you get into the school and the OSSA,
you got to wear the headgear.
You have to have headgear. You have braces. You got to have a mouthpiece. You got to have all that stuff. So once the headgear comes off, It's kind of how some guys like earlier get that break because they have to stop action unless you're in like a pinning combination or something, and they have to stop action to let them get their headgear back on.
Both sizing each other up right now.
Yes. Tying up, kind of controlling the guy, getting that guy out of position right now. And Deloney is a lot lankier than Hankins, so he's got the leverage deal, and it looks like he's trying to underhook him and control him like that. And this wears you down. We're talking about getting tired. You know, this hand fighting, head, pulling on the head. It wears your arms down.
Pulling on your head, you're pulling on my head.
It wears your body, your arms. It wears your whole body down for sure. So it looks like his wrap on his head's kind of, they might see about getting him new headgear. His headgear looks like it broke.
I hear some fans chirping at it.
Wrestling fans for you.
They are some of the most passionate fans, Chris, that you could ever come by.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes too passionate. Who knows? You see those videos where the mom or dad comes across and
it's the one time that you
attack
can see
somebody.
A mother going bananas.
Yeah, the mothers are meaner
sometimes
than the men.
Well, he's got his third headset on now for Hankins.
This one looks like it's a little better. That one was those are kind of a Velcro. Those are Velcro. This one's more of a it goes into the actual metal part, so it doesn't come loose.
Is it as comfortable?
Those are more comfortable. They got cups on them. I always wore those, and they don't let you do it now, but I used to have tape on it because I had cauliflower ear on my right ear. So good shot here by Hankins. There's 24 seconds to be good for a finish here. Nice takedown here. So he gets 2 points with 20 seconds left. Going for a pinning combination right away. So love seeing that.
I give credit to the headgear.
Oh, yeah, that's right. New headgear. That's what helped it out.
And he's trying to rotate him over.
He's got some time to get some back counts. He's getting near fall points right here. Won't get the fall, but he'll get 3 back, so he'll get the back points. And it puts on something like this when it's your choice, usually go down or whatever. If I was Union, I would have deferred a little bit because I don't know, he's
so you would have stayed
down.
In neutral.
Well, I let that guy make a choice of where he wants to go. If he goes down, maybe I can get a turn or something on him. So I already know that when he's on top, he's almost pinned me. So it's kind of a head game you play sometimes.
Mind games,
yeah. It's like let me let that guy put on the decision because I already know if I go down right now, he's kind of been rough on me. So
Hankins is up 5-0 with 1:41 to go here in the second.
And he's been doing a good job like all the BA guys on top. He's looking for pinning combinations. He's not just there holding on, or he's not just letting the guy get to his feet. He's going to look for a suck back here or mat return here.
And they're going to go off the mat.
They're going to call caution on Hankins on that, or stall on Hankins because he went to a leg, pushed him off. He's looking for that chicken wing there.
Hankins has been the aggressor.
Oh, yeah. And BA in general, in all these matches has been the aggressor that I've noticed. So, good job for BA and the coaches. And that's nothing against Union, but good job for BA and the coaches as far as getting these guys to go out and be aggressive and compete. And Union's a young team as well, so these guys are going to learn from this. He's trying what they call a barbed wire. He tries to trap that far arm, run it over his head until he flips him over. Good thing is once the junior high's over, they get to line up and watch the.
And they get to learn
might have
right
one
away.
guy. They get to sit over and then watch those matches.
Thelonian going back down again.
He's got 38 seconds. Hankins done a good job of working towards stuff. He hadn't been able to turn him, but he's been controlling him this whole period.
He's maintained everything when he's been on top through the course of this match.
Yeah, he's keeping pressure, a lot of pressure on him. And you want to keep pressure forward, and that's what they're doing a good job of, keeping pressure forward. That keeps your head and your hands on the mat.
Now, in this instance right here.
There,
never
there
mind.
he's getting a count there. Seeing he's trapped that bottom. He's got to trap the bottom leg. He's trapping the top. You want the bottom leg trapped.
Was Delonia, it appeared like he was stalling for a little bit.
He
too.
was, and he almost called it. They almost called it, but I don't know if he got enough to get. He was going back and forth, so I didn't get enough to get a consistent count there, a near fall count. But what Hankins should have done is trap that bottom leg. Both guys, I've seen a couple of Broken Arrow guys miss out on back points because they're not trapping that bottom leg, and I know Rod teaches that, so these guys are just going to have to learn from the mat time and work on that. So Hankins goes down in the third. Delonia's doing a good job of keeping pressure on him. He's got leverage here on him, so
Hankins will go back down again.
got a minute 41, so still early in the third period. But he needs to think an escape and a takedown. He could get a major here, so he could get 4 points.
Which would be huge at this point with Broken Arrow leading at 42-0.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's the one, so he's got 6.
The escape.
So now he needs to work on getting a takedown here. He needs some more points here. And it may not, this duel's pretty much in hand for Broken Arrow, but on down the road, this could be a learning experience for him saying, hey, if you need a major in another match, this kind of helps you get that experience. So he's got to go out and get the major.
But these are the lessons that you need to have down the line for state or
no doubt. And it's proven he can ride him out. So if he gets the takedown, he can ride him out the whole time.
And he knows that going into it, too.
Good job of fighting off. Good fight there. Now he's got that lock. He should have kept it. Delaney does a good job of underhook, trying to control the ties. Hankins has had one stall call, so he's got to be careful about circling off. He's got to circle on.
You're going to get whistled again.
33 seconds here. He's got to get this takedown. And I know Rod's in his ear saying he needs one more, so he's on him about getting a takedown.
He's trying to fix the headgear. Ref's like, nope, let's go.
He's got to get back to that double he got at the end of the first period. Got to find a way to get through those hands and get that double leg. Got 18 seconds left.
He's going to do it. He's going to have to do it quickly.
Yes. And it's close. Good shot. He's got a limp arm out.
It's very close.
Oh, good reversal there by Delonia.
Delonia picks up 2 as the match expires.
Hankins with the win. Doesn't give up a major and gets 2 at the end, so it's a 3-0 3-point win for, not 3 in the match, but 3 toward Broken Arrow. 6-0 win for Hankins, or 6-2, excuse me. He got the takedown at the end. And Rod will talk to him about it. They'll have the coaches over there talking to him about, not giving up points at the end and going after that major.
Yeah, because that's the last thing you want towards the end of a match is to give up any sort of points when you could have gotten a major.
And no doubt, and I know we've got, they have labeled here Stitchcomb here at 175, but I do not think that's Stitchcomb. I think Stitchcomb's out with an injury. I'm trying to see. He's another kid I know real well. Trying to see if I can see who this is.
Two points, Jarvis.
2 points goes to Jarvis. Tanner Jarvis for Union.
1 point, Hankins.
I didn't catch the name from the announcer down below.
I believe. It sounded like they said Jones.
Jones?
Yeah, but they have Jones listed here at 185, 190, so I don't know. Tanner Jarvis for Union.
It's Tanner Jarvis for Union.
It says Stitchcomb here. Let me look and see. Yeah, that's not Stitchcomb. So they weighed in 2 guys up here.
I did not hear
Vallada over here, but looks like it's here. But it's not Stitchcomb on the mat. Stitchcomb's a kid that was in my son's club team. I've known him for a long time, and I know he was a guy that Rod talked about. We talked about earlier that said was injured. So.
They said Hankins, but
I don't know if they bumped Hankins. They had to have bumped Valletta or Hankins, one of the two. So
this gives us seconds here.
good takedown here. Gets the lead with short time on the clock. So we've got a 3-2 advantage for Broken Arrow. In that last match, I don't know. It might have been Valletta. It could be Valletta or Hankins out here right now for BA. We're trying to kind of hear. They had two guys weighed in. This isn't Stitchcomb. Stitchcomb's out with an injury, so.
We'll listen for the announcer down. So this is Hankins.
This is Hankins. So that last match was Valletta, and they bumped Hankins up to 175.
Okay. So yep. Hankins is here at 175.
Should have a 4-2 advantage.
Yep. 4-2 advantage for Broken Arrow.
He's looking for more. He got the escape, looking for a takedown here.
I know.
Now he's got 2, so 6-2 up here.
Blake is our director and putting in the names as we go, and he's trying to get them just like we are, but different when they weigh two different individuals.
Yeah, they weigh 2 in. They were announcing, and we kind of messed up on it. So we apologize, Valletta, on the last match. Good job on the win. Good match.
Yeah, we do apologize for that, Valletta.
And they moved Hankins up to 175 to fill in for Stitchcomb.
These two are going back at it with one another. They go out the mark.
They're wrestling, and you know what? As this match goes on, I hate to say it, but more and more pressure goes on to these guys because they don't want to lose.
No.
They don't want to be the guy to lose.
No, they do not.
They're up 45-0 right now. They want to keep that 0 on the scoreboard. Good job by Hankins. He's coming over, so. Good mat return there. Got a 6-2 advantage for Hankins over Jarvis. Got 30 seconds left in the second period. The choice, I believe, will be Jarvis's in the third.
Jarvis trying to escape, and he's going to get 1 point there as they go to the neutral.
So 6-3 right now. And Jarvis, what Hankins has, Jarvis did a good job getting some points in short time. Hankins got to get some back. He's got to look for a takedown, get something here. You know, there's 8 seconds here. You can score some points in 8 seconds.
He's
got the leg here, 2 seconds. Time runs out.
Time played a factor for him there.
So like I said, it's kind of a deal that we were dealing with, Dan, is we had multiple guys weighing in multiple weights. So now we know where we're at right here. So
we do apologize for Valletta. Phenomenal match.
Yeah, no doubt. He controlled it, did a good job. Almost got the major at the end, but you know, gave up that takedown right at the end, but won 6-2. So Hankins doing a good job as well, bumping up, and so far got a 6-3 advantage here, filling in for Stitchcomb.
As Jarvis picks up another one.
So 6-4. He's got to fight this takedown off. You know, Jarvis got the first takedown initially, but you know, Hankins got to get this foot to the mat because there's 2. So now we've got a tied-up match. They haven't updated the score yet, but it should be 6-6. Now it's 7-6. Good job for Hankins to get away. So 7-6 match here.
So Hankins going to have to work quickly with 1:11 left.
Well, you know, he's got to be careful he doesn't get himself in you know, overextended because a takedown here would get the lead to Jarvis. But good job with the shot. But like I said, he's got to be careful here because Jarvis has taken him down twice. Jarvis is getting his hips back. Hankins is doing a good job keeping that arm tied, or keeping that leg tied up.
I think it also helps out with Hankins being completely stretched out too. He's not staying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In the middle where then Jarvis could just rotate him over.
Yeah, you've got to. You know, he's got to get. On the good note, he did waste some time there. You know, there's 35 seconds left here. He's got to be careful here. back in on a shot. His hips to the mat. That's a good deal there. Good job by Hankins, finishing strong.
Those were some big points right there.
Big points. So now he's kind of got a little bit of a cushion with 20 seconds left. He's up 9-6. He's going to keep that egg on the scoreboard for Union so far.
8 seconds.
And this is another deal we're dealing with. It's either feast or famine. So it's either a fall or it's a close match. Other than Valletta on the last one, but it's been pretty competitive. So we've got
Jarvis did pick up an escape there, so it'd be 9-7.
9-7. So we've got a 48-0 advantage for Broken Arrow.
So 9-7, and that is probably our closest match of the night outside of Knox.
So this is one of Union's better wrestlers here. So they've got Black, and then they got Yunusa. Yunusa is one of their better wrestlers. He went this summer and All-American at one of the tougher tournaments in the country. College coaches, that's what they look at is Fargo. They look at that more than any tournament. I know Broken Arrow's got a couple guys, and Union's got one guy that's All-American up there. So Yunusa is one of their tougher guys, and he'll be wrestling Braden Jones of Broken Arrow. So Braden will have his hands full here, but he's going to wrestle his butt off because he wants to keep that egg on the board for Broken Arrow.
Yes, he does. Yunusa real quick with his feet.
Quick, long, does a good job at double eggs.
You know who's looking at him for the next level?
I haven't seen a lot of school. I think he's going to be a good Division II level kid like that. He's good takedown by Jones, so he's getting the lead right there. So
big points right there.
Big points right there. And that's huge for Broken Arrow there.
That's
so
a quick start.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's got some schools looking at him. There's the good thing about this area in Oklahoma. They've got several schools. They've got not just your OU and OSU, but they've got UCO, Oklahoma Baptist. They've got Oklahoma Wrestling, NEO. They've got several schools.
In the state that have been putting themselves on the map.
Carl Albert, so they've got several schools that, like I said earlier, Oklahoma Wrestling. So they got several schools that he could choose from. Good job by Jones.
Our JV matches are officially finished as well. So
yes.
All attention will be on the varsity.
We'll hear a little more cheering probably. And Jones is doing a good job of keeping his head on his hands, keeping him down. He's got to just keep grinding this match out. Keep putting points on the board. 57 seconds in this first period. There's the escape here, Yunusa.
So 2-1.
2-1, 46 seconds in this first period. And so far, Broken Arrow's got the 48-0 team score lead over Union.
That takedown and that beginning of the first period was massive at this point.
Huge. He's got to keep, there's still a lot of wrestling left, so he's got to keep that pressure on him.
30 seconds left here in the first.
I believe Yunusa is a multiple-time state qualifier for Union.
And at this point on the docket, frustration is definitely setting in. They're going to pull out all the stops.
Yes.
Curtis. They're not going to want to leave a goose egg up on the board.
No, and it looks like they don't have anybody at 2:15, so they're going to have a forfeit at 2:15. So really, after Yunusa, there's only one match left, which will be the heavyweight match. So Yunusa gets choice. He chooses down immediately.
Jones has been able to contain him since that takedown.
He's done a good job. He's got to come off that ankle before he gets a call, but he's done a really good job of controlling the hips. He's controlling the ankle right now. He's trying to keep Yunusa down, trying to stay on the mat.
They're close to that out-of-bounds marker.
Yeah, and he's trying to kind of stay on the mat as much as he can, keep a toe, keep a foot on, kind of let that clock run down.
.133 to go.
He's going to that ankle, looking for a chop. He's doing a good job, Dana, controlling the ankles. He's getting them to his belly. That's huge there.
Now Yanusa laying on his belly, head on the mat.
Yes, if you're Jones, that's exactly where you want him. Now you're working to some pinning combinations. There's no threat of him getting off bottom right now. And you just got to keep that pressure on him because it takes so much energy just to even get off your base.
And he's looking for that, too.
He's looking for a turn here. That count would be huge here for Jones. He's got plenty of time. He's got to settle back a little bit. He's getting too high. I would do the count. Jones still had control there. So you could almost do a count for Jones here, but he's looking for a defensive fall too, so Jones has to be careful here. 30 seconds here.
Unbelievable.
Defensive fall, Yanusa. So he puts Union on the board with the 6-0 fall there. So Union gets on the board. I thought it was a good fight by Jones. You know, it just kind of got caught on top.
Back points.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. He just kind of got stuck in that position. So it looks like we're gonna have a forfeit here. I don't know who they're sending out. I know Gunner, so it's not Gunner. So it looks like they're gonna send out Lola Lorne. So Mauricio Lola Lorne
at 212.5. 215 is the weight class.
So they're going to move him out, and they're going to bump Gunner up to heavyweight. So it won't be Adam Petit. It'll be Gunner Wilson that'll be wrestling at heavyweight. Gunner is a multiple-time state champ. He wrestled in Catoosa, and now he's at Broken Arrow. They've always kind of lived in the district, I believe. He's moved in with his mom and living up here at Broken Arrow. Great kid, very tough,
and moving rather quickly to go.
Yeah, he'll have a shot to win a state title this year for sure.
Is this Richardson? I believe this is Richardson.
I don't know who this is from. I believe it's Cornell Richardson.
Contrell.
Oh, Contrell Richardson. Sorry. And Blake's looking to get the
graphics up
here. Gunner's working here on top. And like I said,
trying to go for that pin.
Gunner's a two-time 4A state champ. This is his first year in 6A with Broken Arrow. It's good to see him on the mat, able to wrestle. Kid's been around for a long time. Great kid. Known him for a while.
Has he always been a heavyweight, or has he moved into that heavyweight role?
He's always been a heavier kid, and then he's just trimmed down and just, he's
maintained
less fat, more muscle. So, and he's actually a 215-pounder, 220-pounder, and they bumped him to heavyweight. So, but he's filling out with his body, and he's just quick for a bigger guy. You'll see him doing single leg stuff that you'll see on smaller guys. You normally don't see in these heavyweights.
And I think we might add that Richardson's 267.6.
Yeah, we saw it on that last exchange. Yeah. Gunner's having a hard time lifting him up. But, yeah, there's a significant weight. We were talking about earlier a couple tenths.
50 pounds
There's
or
a significant weight advantage here for Richardson over Wilson. He tried to throw here, get caught on his back.
And that weight's going to play a factor there.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. They did that earlier where they're trying to lateral drop and the guy's not coming into you, which is kind of what they did. And if you don't have the guy pressuring into you and you don't get it just right, you'll put yourself on your back. Wilson's trying to do a little too much here. He just needs to get the fall or get on, not necessarily get the fall. He just needs to keep getting his points, wrestling his match. .53 advantage. Going into the second period, I believe it's going to be Union's choice, so Richardson's choice. He's going to defer.
And
Gunner's going to go down. It's a lot of weight on top of you.
Man. You surprised that he wants to go down at this point?
Gunner's pretty
agile.
Yeah, he's a pretty seasoned wrestler, so I don't see that being a bad thing.
Nothing there.
But it's going to be a little difficult for him because there's a lot of weight here.
He's going to pick up some points there, though, on the escape.
Gets the escape, did a good job controlling the hands. Now he's got to wrestle clean. He doesn't need the lateral drops, doesn't need the upper body stuff. Got a minute 40 here.
I think the weight of Richardson just is playing a little bit of factor for Wilson.
No doubt. He went to the single leg, couldn't get it, and in that next exchange he tried to go upper body and do the throw.
Well, because normally he would have been
wrestling
at 215.
Oh, yeah. Got a takedown now. He's looking for a fall here.
Oh.
There it is.
How about that?
Broken Arrow wins 13 of the 14 weights, and I believe they had 1, 2, 3, 4,
6,
5, 6. So they had 6 falls too. So good showing by Broken Arrow, and Dan, I appreciate you letting me.
No, I appreciate you joining me on this evening on ArrowVision. Just overall, just your final thoughts on this. I know Broken Arrow dropped the one match, but it went to the wire as well.
I think Broken Arrow dominated a good Union team. So I saw a lot of good there. Broken Arrow was aggressive. Even when they were making mistakes, trying to score points. So I thought they did a good job. I thought they've been coached well, and I look forward to the rest of their season.
Yeah, we're a long ways away from when the season gets underway for state wrestling and whatnot, but I think this is a Union team that's probably going to be knocking on your door later in the year.
So these guys will be, state's not until February, so these guys are going to have, a little bit of a break here coming up. They'll have their Christmas break and all that, and they've kind of got their first little part of their season down, but they beat Stillwater. They went and competed at a really tough tournament in Ironman, and came out here and wrestled extremely well tonight. So, against a good Union team.
So with that, Broken Arrow will move to 2-0 on the year, if I'm not mistaken, with this dual match tonight. Union will fall to 1-2.
Yep.
So good effort out of Broken Arrow. The next time you will see us on ArrowVision, we will be covering the basketball game coming up this next Tuesday with Stillwater. I want to thank Chris Forbes for helping me out with Cuddle Our
Once again, thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. And
hopefully he'll be with me throughout the course of the
if you'll have me, yeah.
I appreciate it. Antonio Hurling, our stream director. I want to give a shout-out to Greg Spencer, the director of ArrowVision. Also, I want to give a big thank you to all the students that helped put on the stream today. And congratulations once again to the Broken Arrow Tigers. Victorious 60-6. Any final thoughts, Chris?
No, they look good. Great job, Broken Arrow, and good job, Union, coming out and battling. I know that doesn't reflect how much Jefferson's got that team improved, but Coach Jones and the Tigers came out and looked real good. So,
and of course, best of luck to your son along the way as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Until next time, go Tigers.